A very good evening to all Toastmasters, Cavaliers, and guests present in this meeting. Welcome to the 86th Virtual Club meeting. There are a few rules that we need to follow before starting our meeting. Number one, please keep your camera off while you are eating or drinking, and please do not keep turning the camera on and off while someone is speaking. Number two, please keep yourself muted unless you are asked to do so otherwise. Number three, please keep chat activity to the minimum. And last but not the least, please refrain from speaking about sex, religion, and politics in a derogatory manner. Now it's time to introduce the president of VirtuoMasters Club, who is also the counselor of my Gavel Club. Over to you, distinguished Toastmaster Panna Rashmi Ray.
Let's keep it going for a very sweet standing Saturday Rams Gavalier Tane. Over here, those who are new to Toastmasters, let me tell you all, Gavaliers are Toastmasters under the age of 18. And today we've asked a few of them to be with us and play roles in the Toastmasters Club. Now, Gavalier Tane, the standing Sergeant at Arms, is just 13 years old and he studies in class 8 in La Martiniere School for Boys. I asked him who is his role model and he said Elon Musk. And he hopes to be a space scientist one day. Let's give a big round of applause to Tane, and I hope your dream comes true, Tane. You are such a wonderful person, wonderful Gabriel to be with us and help us in starting our meeting today. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you to all the Toastmasters and Cavaliers.
With that, I would like to welcome everyone to the 86th session of VirtuoMasters Club, and I open the meeting with a bang. I'm sure you have all read the minutes of the meeting prepared by our secretary, Toastmaster Kshitij. If everybody is okay with it, please show a hands up. Can I have a few more thumbs up from club members? Thank you. So this is the 86th meeting of our club, and we have a beautiful session to look forward to. Before that, I want to share a quote with you, which says, "Life is a series of million tiny miracles. Take the time to notice them." Friends, often in a hurry-burry of daily life, we miss out on the tiny miracles that are happening in our life. Maybe a friendly smile of a passerby. Maybe a beautiful flower that has grown in your garden, but you have not noticed it. These tiny miracles make a difference. It will brighten up anyone's day. So take time out, notice them, and you create some miracles too. By smiling at perfect strangers, by complimenting them on something, you might just make their day, right? With that, I would like to take the guest introduction. We have a few guests with us. First, let me ask Atri Ghosh to please introduce himself. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Please let us know.
Hello. Actually, my name is O3. It's fine. But I am a doctor. I graduated in 2019 from NRS Medical College. And right now, I am planning for going to UK for further studies. So I've been introduced here by Mridula Sengupta. She is my schoolmate, actually. So that's it.
Thank you so much, Atri. You are a very young doctor. We have someone who in our Toastmasters Club who wants to be a doctor and has just given his exams for that. I'm sure he is going to reach out to you very soon. And that is, you will meet him later. He's the Toastmaster of the day. Thank you for being with us today. With that, I would like to take a guest introduction from guest Rajika, please.
Hi, everyone. I hope I'm audible and visible at the same time. My name is Rajika, and I have come here with reference from Toastmaster Krish. About me, I am a first-year student doing my graduation in International Relations and Public Policy, currently from St. Joseph's College, Bangalore. And I like to read books and also to draw. So yeah, I hope that's it.
Thank you so much, Rajika. I hope you enjoy your session with us today. And please remember, we have a session where guests can participate. So please volunteer and participate in that section. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Now on to our next guest, where I saw Vijay. Someone named Vijay was there. Maybe he had some network issues. We have Toastmaster Kirti, the president of IMI Club, over here with us. Thank you, Toastmaster Kirti, for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed the session today.
Thank you.
And we have little Gaviliers today. We have Gavilier Saisha Jain, who's going to play a role. We have Gavilier Dishita, who's joined us in the meeting. And we have Gavilier Samriddhi, who's also joined us in the meeting. So please, everyone, Toastmasters and guests, please be very careful about what you speak in front of the youngsters. So because we need to motivate them, we need to give them a good feeling. So let us be very careful about our content of our speeches, okay? Now, like I said, we have a young aspiring doctor with us. He's like young, yes, aspiring, yes, and very inspiring. He is, what can I say, someone I wish I was like when I was young, because he's very adventurous. He likes trying out new stuff with his hairstyle and his dressing sense and everything else in his life. He's a teenager. So Saisha, Samriddhi, Dishita and all, when you become a teenager, you can join the Toastmasters Club. So Toastmaster Kshitij is a teenager who loves to play classical musical instruments. He loves to practice public speaking on different forums, and he likes to research on atypical things and objects. I wonder what they are. Side by side, he loves to spend time on what, on being a good student. Wow, I'm sure you are awesome in that. With that, I would like to hand over the virtual podium to our young aspiring doctor, Toastmaster of the day for today, Toastmaster Kshitij. With a big round of applause, let's welcome him on the virtual podium.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Today, I am not going to take you all on an adventurous roller coaster ride or a fantasy-filled superhero world, but a place within you to have an insight and look within. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Do you remember the last time you were happy for no reason at all? Listening to your favorite slow and romantic song and getting lost in its euphoria. Yet you sometimes needed someone to bring you back. We all have been there, isn't it? Being happy, sad, or content is just a matter of perspective. Can I know from anybody of you that what are emotions? Well, it's definitely not something which I make, something like the face which I make after seeing ketchup on biryani. Any volunteer, please? Anybody? I can see guest Rajika. Would you like to express? Hello, ma'am.
Yes, I think emotions for me would be something that touches my heart and soul, and it can be anything, like depending on the situation I'm in. So yeah.
That's very good. Thank you very much. See what I think that emotions can be mystifying at times. After all, who here hasn't been ambushed by of sudden anger to whatever reason, whether it was some pineapple over pizza or felt gloomy for no reason at all? Well, rationally, there are three primary emotions. They are happiness, anger, and sadness. Well, that's the bookish philosophy. I leave it upon you to decide what are your three primary emotions. As for my part, you're going to find out. See, the rule of threes applies to everywhere. And similarly, in Toastmasters, we have three sections, namely the prepared speeches, where we have the joy to listen to someone's story. Then the table topics, where the element of surprise comes into action. And last but not the least, the evaluation section, where we all get some important insights, all while radiating positivity. But before we move forward, allow me to call someone who will keep a check on all of our emotions. Has the meeting started on time? Oh, how good the speaker is speaking. The team is exaggerating so much. Well, the favorite emotion of him is empathic pain. Such a deep word. He thinks that this is what makes him realize that he still has some good left in him, somewhere within. He he wrote few more lines like this to make me more emotional, and he kind of succeeded too. But let me assure you, Area R1 director, that I've met so many people in all these years of my life, and you're just amazing. Khada Sona. Jokes aside, please put your hands together for the general evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Krishnesh Nayak.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Kshitij, for that wonderful introduction. Yes, to elaborate more on my favorite emotion, which is empathic pain, that's just me trying to feel what other people are feeling. Doesn't matter how outlandish they might sound. I try to walk or place myself in their shoes. So it doesn't matter if they are insincere or not. I have to be sincere towards how I respond to what they say to me. So I think once I stop doing that, I realize I'll be a very cynical person, and that's something which I hope I never become. So that's why that's my favorite kind of pain. That being said, I will not be a cynic today in my role as a general evaluator while looking at how this meeting progresses. My role as a general evaluator will be to keep an eye on the meeting as a whole, as well as pay attention to everyone who takes this stage, as well as uses their time during the meeting. So given this is a very important task, a humongous task, I have a team of people who will be helping me with that. And to start off, I would like to call upon the grammarian for the day, Toastmaster Abhijit. Toastmaster Abhijit, if you could please elaborate on your role.
Sure. Am I visible, audible? Okay. So a very good afternoon to all the Toastmasters and guests. As a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all the speakers and role players and to listen carefully to their language usage. I will take notes of any incorrect usage of grammar, as well as good usage of grammar, quotes, words, etc. As a grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. The word of the day is endearment, spelled as Endearment. And the meaning of the word is an expression that is used to show feelings of love or affection for somebody. And an easy example is the endearing personality that Derek had attracted many of them. I urge all the speakers to kindly use the word of the day and also request everybody to kindly give a virtual thumbs up when a speaker uses word of the day. And I will present my report when called by the general evaluator at the end of the meeting. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Abhijit, for that wonderful choice of word of the day, as well as your explanation of the role. If you could also share the word of the day on the chat.
Sure, I will definitely do that.
Yeah, and please remember to also share the word of the day just before the table topic session starts. That being said, let's move on to my next role player in my team, and that is the R counter, Toastmaster, soon to be Toastmaster, probably, and now fabulous Gavalier, Shaisha. Please explain your role, Gavalier Shaisha.
Thank you, General Evaluator, for handing the podium to me. Good morning, dear Toastmasters. fellow Gaviliers, and dear guests. I'm the R counter for the meeting today. Whatever I said, did it sound good? No, right? Which is why I am here to help you to keep a tab on your crutch and filler words. As the counter, I will note words and sounds that are used as crutch or fillers by the speakers. During the meeting, I will listen to the crutch words such as and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen for filler words or sounds such as ah, and I will note when speakers repeat a phrase such as I, or this means, and of inappropriate long or short pauses. I will give my report when called for by the general evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gavilia Saisha, for that wonderful explanation of your role. And I did realize that you were actually forcing yourself to say those ahs and ums at the beginning to show us how we should not do it. Thank you very much for that. And then I have in my team Toastmaster Rima Das, who is going to be the timer for today. Toastmaster Rima, could you please explain your role?
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good afternoon, my fellow Toastmasters and dear future Toastmasters. I'm with a timer for today, and I will keep a track of time for prepared speeches, table topic speeches, and also for evaluation. The time limit for the prepared speech is 5 to 7 minutes. Table topic section time limit is 1 to 2 minutes, and for evaluation, the time limit is 2 to 3 minutes. There is a grace period of 30 seconds on both upper and lower side for both prepared speech section and for evaluation section. But for table topic section, the grace period of 30 seconds is only on the upper hand. I will show the green paper at the end of minimum time, yellow paper at the end of mean time, and red paper at the end of maximum time, and until the speaker, till the speaker speaks. I will present my report at the end of the meeting when I will call upon by the general evaluator. And also one thing, when the speaker will speak, please highlight me so that I can show the papers. Thank you. And over to you, general evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Rima. I can only imagine how difficult it is going to be handling all those papers and keeping track of the stopwatch which you have to look at. All the best. Madam President, do we also have an active listener? No, thank you. That is my team then, dear Toastmasters and Gaviliers and guests. And why they are so endeared to me is that not only do they come up to step in for these roles at the last moment, but there are also those who decide to take on these roles much in advance and stick to them. So both ways, endearing qualities. So thank you very much, my team. And I'll be back at the end of the meeting to give my report. With that, let's have our Toastmaster of the day, the colorful Toastmaster Kshitij.
Thank you very much, Krish. Now, here's some build-up and privilege of being the team. So I was in my 5th grade, and at that time, most of our field trips were somehow educational, whether we were going to a nearby library or a science museum. But there was one field trip where the teachers emphasized that the purpose was fun. 4 hours at an amusement park, no chaperones, few rules. I remember everything being perfect. The sun rays tenderly stroked us, warm but not scorching. The lines were short and the park uncrowded. While we were eating our lunch, our teacher walked by and stole some chips from the nearby lunchbox, throwing aside the mask of professionalism that she usually had to wear. For me, tomorrow didn't exist. 1 hour later didn't exist. I was completely submerged in that feeling, refusing to pop up. My brain went dormant, allowing my happy heart to control my systems. This feeling, dear friends, was a mixture of joy and togetherness. And to feel the same, the first section that we have today is something like this. It gives us the joy and the privilege to listen to someone's story and imbibe it, the prepared speech section. But before calling the speaker of the day on the podium, let's hear what her evaluator has to say. Her favorite emotion is happiness. And when asked why, well, why not? Because who doesn't like happiness? Except Arijit Singh. Please help me bring to podium Toastmaster Shraddha Lama.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. The speaker is trying level 2 project 1 from the pathway visionary communication. The purpose statement are as, the purpose of this project is for the member to identify his or her primary leadership style or styles. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of his or her primary leadership style or discuss leadership styles in general. Timer, please note the time is 5 to 7 minutes. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much. All right, the speaker right now must be very much excited, well, because it's her favorite emotion. She really likes to show it while shopping or while watching movies. So the speaker today is attempting her level 2 project 1 speech from the pathway visionary communication, and she has been mentored by none other than DTM Panna Rashmire. Her speech title is Be in Style. Please put your hands together for the speaker of the day, Toastmaster Shilpa Agarwal. Shilpa Agarwal, Be in Style, Be in Style, Shilpa Agarwal.
How many of you think you are a leader? Many of you think that you are not a leader? Or maybe you don't want to accept it. But let me tell you, you all are leader, but different from each other. We all have some vision in our life. And when we take a step and have the enthusiasm to translate into reality, that means we are leader, at least for our life. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, dear guests, and the Gaveliers. In our childhood days, we see principals, teachers, prefects, parents, grandparents, and we all grew up seeing these leaders in our life. We all want to grow up fast and become a leader, isn't it? I remember when I was a kid, I used to think, oh, when will I grow up? I will take my own decision. I don't have to ask anyone before buying any chocolates. It's so nice. Parents don't have to give exams. They don't have to go to school. I will lead my life as I wish to. So many other thoughts, right? But when I grew up, I realized being a leader is not that simple. Taking your own decision is not that simple. Managing house as a housewife is not that simple. Leading your own life and your career as you wish to is not that simple. And when I tried to understand my own leadership style, even that is not so simple. There are so many leadership styles: affiliative, coaching, democratic, bureaucratic, altruistic, innovative, collaborative, so many. But is it really possible that we can have one particular leadership style? After all, it's a style. In a year, we change our living and dressing style at least 4 times according to the seasons. You know, style mein rehne ka, style mein rehne ka, always be in style. So how can a person have one leadership style throughout his life? Not possible. We keep changing our leadership style as the situation demands. So let me explain it with an example from my own life.
When I was in school, I was appointed as the head girl of my school. That year, I wished to organize a Teachers' Day program in a grand way. So I called few prefects for discussion. Everyone was excited. What I have to do was to get permission from Principal Ma'am. She had many questions in her mind, and I had all the answers ready and kept everything simple. After I got the permission, I called all the volunteers who would like to help in organizing the program and those who would like to perform. Then I finalized a plan, divided them into teams, and allotted them their work to be done. So here, I used my altruistic leadership style. In the process, I had planned so many things that never happened before. I had so many innovative ideas. I designed an invite card, collaborated with the head boy to invite all the teachers, bought return gifts for them, and ordered ice cream and food packages so that they can enjoy eating while watching the cultural event. This was where I used both innovative and collaborative leadership styles. So you can see, just for one event, I had 3 different leadership styles at different point of situations. Now let me explain it with another example. When I decided to organize my parents' 25th anniversary party, I had very less time to organize it. So I had to make a strategy first. I listed down all the works. I finalized a budget with my father and found out a good banquet hall within the budget. I invited the close friends and the family members and arranged return gifts for the guest. Everything done just in 3 days of time. So what do you think? Which leadership style I used over here? Any guesses? You can unmute yourself and guess. No guesses? I used strategic leadership style. Because there was lack of time, I had to plan a strategy and work fast. But in Toastmasters, I realized my primary leadership style is affiliative. When I learned to create a cohesive unit by emphasizing teamwork and harmony among the club members by organizing debates, increasing morale by organizing contests for the guest. Friends, we all have leadership skill in us. All we need is to give it a little push. If not for others, then for ourselves. Remember, style mein rehne ka. Always be in leadership style. So Toastmaster of the day, are you a leader?
Wow, Toastmaster Shilpa, that was truly an amazing speech. You really took us from one emotion to another in a snap, much faster than Thanos did in Endgame. Oh, I really need to control my comical side from coming out. All right. So, do you know that if every morning I composed a list of my objectives for the day, I would need several, no, many sheets of paper. Wake up early, ace your Spanish quiz, do not procrastinate, be kind to your friends, make someone laugh, learn some new song, on and on and on. An endless chain of plans that seems unrealistic. So when I pull the covers over my body at night and check off every item on my list with a fat red pen, I feel accomplishment swell up on my mind, and I bask in the knowledge that today was indeed a productive day. This feeling, dear friends, this emotion is a mixture of pride and contentment. And to make you feel even more prouder, we have now the table topic section. And to conduct it, we have someone whose favorite emotion is biryani. Yeah, you heard it right. Whenever he needs to lift up his mood or is having a really gloomy day, he needs nothing but a hot plate of biryani. Please help me welcome the table topic master for the day, Toastmaster Ajitesh Chaudhary.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kshitij. And I see most of y'all salivating on hearing biryani. And that's what it is. It's true love, right? We all can connect to that emotion. So, and here we come to the most interesting and the most awaited session of a Toastmaster session. It's a table topic. It is a very interesting session where we give chance to both Toastmasters and guests to speak, and it helps them to sharpen a lot of the skills, which is critical listening, on-spot thinking, thought organizing, and delivery skills. For table topics, the time allocated is 1 to 2 minutes. The timer will be showing a green card at 1 minute, a yellow card at 1.5 minutes, and red at 2 minutes. And you get a grace of 30 seconds for qualifying for the voting. Every speaker has to speak for minimum 1 minute to qualify. And I request all the speakers to use the word of the day, which has been given by a grammarian. It is endearment. For guests, we do have an option to change the table topic once. And for today's table topics, we have something very interesting. So I'll be giving you a sentence and you will need to complete that sentence. And it is somewhere around an emotion that we all probably connect to in our daily lives, or we would have connected at some point of our life. For example, if the topic is, it was the happiest day of my life. So you can start with that it was the happiest day of my life when I finally bought my dream car. And then you can continue your speech and story to spin around it. Or you could also mention that I'm fond of sports car and then continues a speech or story. And you can mention towards the conclusion or somewhere in the middle of your speech, when I finally booked my Porsche 911, it was the happiest day of my life, right? So I hope the rules are very clear. You have to use that sentence at least once in your speech. With that said, I'll start taking nominations. So could you nominate for taking up a speech? Okay, I see Toastmaster Kirti. So Kirti, your topic is, I'm always confused between. I'm always confused between Toastmaster Kriti.
Thank you for this topic. I'm always confused between to eat this or that. Like this is a continuous war that I want to lose weight, but life is about eating. How can I miss all the great things? There's so much. There's starters, there's main course, and there's desserts. Because personally, I love desserts. I love cakes. I love ice cream. Even the thought of it, just saying, and my mother, my endearing mother, she makes all these beautiful things that, if you just see, you just want to eat those things. So yes, I am confused all the time. I want to eat, but I want to lose weight. I want to get fit, but again, I want to eat. So how do I come out of this vicious circle? So now I'm trying to do both the things and not be that much confused. Let's see how far I can go with it. I guess everyone will come to know, if you can see in the next few meetings, if I lose this much of weight, probably someday. But yeah, so this is all the more confusion for me, because somewhere down I know the right decision that, if I don't eat healthy, this will impact my health, as I've already gone through a surgery last year. So I have to lose weight. But again, I can't stop eating all the good things. There are a lot of things in this world, and I have to eat everything. So thank you. What do you say, Toastmaster?
Thank you, Toastmaster Kirti. That was such an amazing take on the topic, and we all totally connect with you. However, I am one of the privileged ones who do not gain weight even if I eat more. So that's why, yeah, I'm the fortunate one, but I do connect with you on that. So any other nominations, please? Can we have someone? We have quite a lot of young members out there if they want to take up a role. Okay, so we have Toastmaster Amrish going first. So Toastmaster Amrish, for you, it was a proud moment for me. It was a proud moment for me, Toastmaster Amrish.
Thank you, Table Topic Master, and good evening to all Toastmasters and dear guests. A proud moment. I remember a day when I had given my CA final exam in 2006 May. The result came out in July, and I was at my home. And that time in CA curriculum, there were some changes that they have introduced a new course, and along with that, old course was also going on. And that was the first term for new course, and I had appeared it from Kolkata only. I was at home and I had missed the rank by 1 mark in CA final. I was at my hometown and I was doing my lunch. My mother asked how the people get so much over top 3 position at a place or in a town or in a city, but my son is only just pass. That time, my friend called me that you are third in Kolkata. And that time I told my mother, and that was a very proud moment for me that she has told something and I had just responded with a positive reply to her that I have done something great, what she want to see. If you stand at the expectation of your parents, that can be that will always be a proud moment for anyone. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amrish. Thank you for sharing that with us. Definitely, it is a proud moment when we make our parents proud. So we have our next nomination, which is Toastmaster Orithro. So Toastmaster Orithro, for you, the topic is, I was extremely nervous, but then I overcame. I was extremely nervous, but then I overcame. Toastmaster Orithro.
I was extremely nervous when I first participated in a table topic session, but then I somehow overcame that fear and spoke on. Let me expound on that a little. I remember my first session here, and I was very glad to learn that guests can participate in table topic section. And I was very apprehensive at the beginning. Should I nominate my name? Should I raise my hand? Should I speak? What would people think if I fumble? Because I know I seem to stop a lot, pause a lot, utter ahs and ums a lot. So how would I come across? Would my speech make sense? Would my thoughts be coherent? Would I use nice words? Would I make grammatical mistakes? All of that rushing in my head. And then I opened the chat box, I typed me. And as guests are given preference, I got my first chance. And I remember the topic, it was what if there were no boundaries? I was, I call it beginner's luck, or I don't know, maybe I was, maybe somehow I was able to connect it instantly. I spoke on it. I just went on a creative spree. I told all the physical problems that would occur if there were no boundaries, and then I just stated what would I do if that happens. And I stopped, and I felt so good at the end that okay, I not only spoke, but I am satisfied with the way I spoke, with whatever I delivered. And obviously the evaluators were very generous in their remarks. So that was one time when I overcame my anxious thoughts and just went for it, and it was awesome. Over to you, Toastmaster Ajitesh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Orithro. That was wonderfully put. And yes, we all have been there and we always are there in any of the sessions. But the more we practice and how we overcome fear each time. Thank you so much. So we had Toastmaster Raja nominating as well. Sorry, guest Raja. So guest Raja, for you, the topic is my random act of kindness brought such joy. My random act of kindness brought such joy, Toastmaster. Guest Raja. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ajitesh, for giving me this opportunity. Okay. The random act of, could you please repeat the topic?
My random act of kindness brought such joy.
Okay. Well, in my past days, I have not been so kind enough to be true. But now it's been a few months. I've been trying to make myself humble, kind towards others. So, which is now I'm practicing myself to make myself kind enough so that whatever mistakes and don'ts I have did in the past, I shouldn't be repeating those. So, like generally, the apartment I stay, the security guard, every time I used to go, he opens the door and I come in and he gives me a good smile and says, "How was the day?" So, after 2 days, I thought what I could say him, what I could read him with. So the next day when I went, so I started when he replied me with a greeted me with a smile. I said, "How is you? You had your food?" So that was a moment when I felt it was so kind, like reading someone for the hard work he's doing all day. So this was the most moment that I believe kindness I have proved towards someone. So that's all. Thank you, Toastmaster Ajitesh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raja. It was so wonderfully put. And showing acts of kindness and a humble nature do takes us a long way. Thank you so much. Can we have more nominations, please? Some more guests coming up. How about guest Autry? Do you want to take a? Are you comfortable taking one? If you're on mute, could you say yes if you're comfortable?
Yes, I think I'm comfortable.
Great. So for you, the topic is I was extremely disappointed by. I was extremely disappointed by guest Autry.
Well, to say the least, by nature, I'm a foodie. So I like to go everywhere, and every place I go, I try to taste the food of that place. And recently, I went to Greece for a vacation with my family, and I have read so much about the culture, the things available there. But what disappointed me the most was the food. Actually, the food was terrible. The people were endearing enough that I love interacting with them, but even despite that also, my I didn't like what I ate there, and I know this is a very minor topic for such a table topic conversation, but since this is my first venture in this arena, so I think I should. That's what concludes my speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Ajitesh.
Thank you, guest Autry. That was really nicely put, especially for foodies. It can get very disappointing when we don't get the right flavors that we would want, right? So I totally connect with you on that. Any more nominations? How about some young member coming up? I see Toastmaster Shesha. Do you want to take? You don't want to? Okay. I can give you an easy one. You want to try? Okay. How about our Sergeant at Arms? Sorry, I don't remember his name. Do we have him? Okay. Toastmaster Dr. Rupesh. He's always an amazing sport to take up table topics. Thank you so much for nominating. And for you, the topic is, it was silly, yet so much of fun. It was silly, yet so much fun.
Hi, very good evening, fellow Toastmasters, Cavaliers, and would-be Toastmaster in this virtual forum. Yes, it was silly, but it was fun. See, these are the smallest, very small happiness you bring every day. In Hindi, generally, when I discuss with my fellow members or friends, I used to say in Hindi, it's a masoom khusiyan. So try to be happy in a small things. Just I was traveling. I took train from Havra in 12:45. And I thought I was only knowing this train I am coming. What I realized, some of the guy, when I was in Calcutta for a week, people were saying, let's meet. But somehow my lot of blessings of my company, I was not getting time and a lot of people are angry. But one of my friend, I can say is a close friend now because this is the guest that I received today. He was at the gate of Havra platform. He know my train will start from that. And he was there with some chips, some cold drinks. Even he knows I'll not eat it. So he came, he met along with his fiance and say, jitna bhi try kar lo, bach ke nahi ja paoge humse. Whatever you tried to ignore me, but I will be here because I am your friend. And he told, I know you don't eat cold drinks, you don't eat potato chips, but today you need to eat because it's your mistake, you are not giving time. My dear friend, that potato chips and cold drinks doesn't matter, but kind of happiness, this is a small silly thing. He used to live in Behla. He traveled to Havra station just to make me feel happy. And the message was, I was feeling guilty, but it was a silly. What you did? You traveled 1.5 hours to meet me in the platform for 2 minutes. And then he hugged me and he told, in the January, I'll get married. So I want you, wherever you are, you need to do. This is small happiness, but silly. But Masoom Khushiyan, that I can recall. I was thinking all over, in the train when I was there. So my dear friend, try to find happiness in your life. Be happy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dr. Rupesh. It was such an amazing story. And as I said, you've always been a sport, and to take, even when you're traveling, you are speaking. Thank you so much. So can we have some guests come up, please? How about guest Rajika? We have guest Rajika. If you are on mute, could you please unmute and speak? She's still there on the call. Okay, before we get an answer from guest Rajika, can we go with guest Neelam? Guest Neelam, do you want to take a topic? Hello, we can't hear you if you're on mute.
Sorry. Hi, everybody.
Hello. So would you be comfortable taking a table topic, please?
That's okay. I'm just giving a try. We can.
Sure, absolutely. So for you, the topic is, and it's a fun one. It is, I don't believe in ghosts, but this time I was scared.
Okay. It's a true story. It happened when we were small and we're just sleeping in a room. And suddenly my uncle, he just placed a shadow of his hand behind the window. And then she was waving this way. Like we could see the wave outside our window in the room. And I never believed in ghosts. I don't believe in ghosts. And that day was it was such a traumatic situation. And I really believe there's ghosts in this world. So that was a small incident happened with us. So this as it would.
Thank you, guest Neelam.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was definitely a fun story to listen to.
Yeah.
And we all do relate to it at times.
I know.
So thank you so much. Can we have some more nominations? We have any more topics out there, interesting ones, and we'll get to know more interesting stories from you all. Okay, we have Toastmaster Sheetal. Thank you, Toastmaster Sheetal, for nominating. Your topic is My Frustration Was at Its Peak. My frustration was at its peak, Toastmaster Sheetal.
My frustration was at its peak when I came to know that they are saying that women are treated equally in India. Were they true? No, they were not. They said women are treated as goddess in India, not just equal, greater than their male counterparts. But I was really frustrated to know the truth. It stands nowhere. We always say that we treat women as equal, but in fact, when we move into the house, we expect our mother or sister to bring a glass of water. Isn't it true? The real equality would come when we don't just talk about equality. We start not preaching, but practicing equality. The hypocrisy is long done. It's our time to change. As Mahatma Gandhi rightly said, it's better to be the change that you want to bring to the society rather than just talking about it. And I sincerely request every one of you to treat men and women equally in the society. It's not that I'm saying that men are not treated just different to the women out there, or male or female are not treated differently. I have been someone who is very vocal about his emotions. I get into tears very soon, but it has not been very comfortable for me. There has been times when my father has said, you are a man, you cannot break down. But why that inequality? Please take a stand against inequality, whether it is for male, female, or whether it is for transgenders. So please, I really become frustrated when I see that hypocrisy going around. What do you say, table topic master?
Thank you, Toastmaster Sheetal. That was definitely a great take on the topic. And yes, we have to get rid of inequality if we need to progress as a nation and as a society, for sure. I have the last topic of the day. Anyone wants to nominate? Any nominations? Okay, then I'll just pick up someone. Okay, how about our Cavalier? Do you want to speak? Dishita Vania. Dishita, would you want to take up a topic? Speak. You can unmute if you're comfortable to do so. Okay, so do we have somebody else who wants to pick up?
I'll try, Ajitesh.
Okay, thank you, Shraddha.
I hope it's
So,
the easy one.
yeah. So for you, the topic is I was highly embarrassed when. I was highly embarrassed when, Toastmaster Shraddha.
Thank you so much, Table Topic Master. And it is really embarrassing for me right now for not coming up with any embarrassing moment and freezing because I can't remember of any embarrassing moment right now. Uh, just give me a moment. Okay. So maybe the reason I cannot remember of embarrassing moments are because I don't take these by heart. Whenever I'm embarrassed, I forget about it. I just freeze and I try to forget about those moments for life. Uh, so that is one thing I like about me. Maybe I've had a lot of embarrassing moments, maybe a lot of low moments, embarrassing moments where people have found something not right with me and I might have embarrassed myself many a times, but then happy that I am not going to share any embarrassing moment right now in front of you all because I move on in life from all these embarrassing moments. Thank you so much. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shraddha. That was so nicely put, even when you couldn't find out an actual embarrassing moment. Thank you so much for taking that up. And over to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Kshitij. That was all we had for this session.
Thank you very much, Mr. Table Topic Master. Firstly, for having such endearing topics. Secondly, for bringing in the guests. And thirdly, for not calling me. Do you know that life is a sprint? Well, so was this meeting. We rush from place to place, from person to person, from time to time. We spend so much time running around that we often forget to spend time with ourselves. A day before yesterday, when I was strolling down an empty sidewalk alone, without my dog, I noticed myself slip away from reality. On the outside, my hands were stuffed in my pockets and I was merely enjoying the scenery. But on the inside, my soul danced a boundless ribbon dance. Yeah, the one in Kung Fu Panda 3, if you remember. Alone, but unshackled. This emotion, my friends, is a mixture of freedom and solitude. Now, we come to the third section, the evaluations. Please keep the applause going for the general evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Krishnesh Nair.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Kshitij. Wonderful theme and wonderful session so far. Let's get on with the evaluation section, which is actually one of the most important parts where we'll be able to learn how to do better every time we take the stage. With that, let me call upon the evaluator for Prepared Speaker 1, Toastmaster Shilpa Agarwal. I'd like to call upon Toastmaster Shraddha Lama to please
Thank
share
you.
her evaluation.
Thank you so much, Sir General Evaluator. Toastmaster Shilpa, that was Shilpa. That was an endearing speech. There was drama, there was musty, there were songs, whatnot. I was completely amazed by your speech. Fellow Toastmaster, dear guests, and dear Cavaliers, a very good afternoon. Generally, I start from the start, but I would love to start from the end here because style mein rehne ka. That was the end, right? Who would not love a speech ending with a song? It was such a happy ending for this emotional session going on. The second thing I loved about your speech was your voice modulation. When you were in school, you were acting like a child. When you were a grown-up, you were acting like a grown-up. I loved how you used your voice modulation throughout your speech. The third thing was the personal connect. Definitely, you had your personal stories along with some learnings. You were sharing your leadership styles, connecting with your personal stories, so giving us a lot of learning, also making us connect with your personal stories. So I love the fact about your speech for this region. And at the end, I would love to I would love to talk about your start, which was a question. Of course, any speech that starts with a question is very interesting. And also there was some positive thought when you said, we all are leaders, you all are leaders. So I loved how you started with a question and also a positive attitude. Having said that, there is always a scope of improvement, and I would like to discuss those points now. When you talked about a lot of different leadership styles, it was altruistic, innovative, collaborative, and affiliative. One thing I thought missed out was, what are these? You said how you connected with these leadership style, but what are these were one of the questions came in between. Innovative and collaborative is pretty simple, so we all know, but altruistic, maybe you could have explained what is it, right? That is one thing. The next thing is, we could see a lot of facial expressions and hand gestures, but then I wished you had stood up, so we could see the whole body posture and the whole body movement, which would have showed more confidence in your speech. So these two things are my recommendations. All in all, your style of starting, your style of ending, your voice modulation, and how you connected your personal story were lovely. Two things I would recommend you to work on is connect, also sharing what are the leadership style, and secondly, if you can stand up for your next speech. All in all, Shilpa, I was completely engrossed in your speech, starting to end. I was enjoying. I loved the voice modulation and the smile throughout. The speech was confident and pretty amazing and enduring. Over to you, Sir General Evaluator. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Shraddha. Well done. Well done. Toastmaster Shraddha, to start off with your evaluation, I especially loved how you enjoyed yourself while giving the evaluation. I'm very happy I'm seeing that part of you. So that is the key. I hope all of you are taking that into cognizance. You have to enjoy every time you come on the stream. Be it whatever your role is, you have to enjoy yourself. And I think Toastmaster Shraddha, this was one of your better evaluations, mainly because you enjoyed what you were doing. So well done on that. You were on point, especially with the time at which you moved into your recommendation, just around the green card. That was well done. That gave you enough time to outline your recommendation as well as give the instances. So I see you working on how to improve as an evaluator. Well done on those. One more thing which I loved about how you did your evaluations right is how you used that one part from the speech which would have stuck to the audience's memory, which was the style mein rehne ka. And you used that and carved your evaluations around that. So now not only her speech becomes memorable, your evaluation also becomes memorable as a part of that. So well done, Toastmaster Shraddha. Keep it up. Next, I would, Toastmaster Shraddha, with whatever Toastmaster Shilpa, with whatever Toastmaster Shraddha already has outlined, I see massive strides taken in your journey as a speaker. Well done. To iterate, I loved how you decided to experiment with voice modulation in your speech. And a challenge that I hope for you to accept is to try and experiment more with your arms. Now, there will always be a situation where you may need to sit and speak, but to be more effective from a sitting position, I understand you have hand gestures, but you see, when I'm doing this, and even if it is not forced, and if it comes out naturally, this part and this part of the rectangle is not used. So if there is any place in your speech where you can say, there are three things, or there were these are the various types of leadership styles. So, you can use the whole rectangle to your advantage. That is one thing which you may try to use in your speech next time if you plan to give it sitting, but otherwise, I think you did fantastic. Thank you very much. Toastmaster Rima, thank you for helping out with the timings. And let me get on with the rest of my team. I call upon the R counter, Gavilier Saisha, to please share her report.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Now I am back with my report. So let us start with the prepared speeches first. Toastmaster Shilpa was flawless. For the evaluation, Toastmaster Shraddha used 3 R's, 1 and 2 repeated phrases. For the table topics, table topic speaker 1, Toastmaster Kirti used 1 R, 1 so, 3 repeated phrases, 1 and 1 pause. Toastmaster Amrish used 2 R's, 2 repeated phrases and 1 pause. Toastmaster Orithro used multiple R's, multiple repeated phrases and pause and 1 pause. Toastmaster Raja used multiple R's, 1 so and 1 pause. Toastmaster Otri used multiple R's, 1 and 1 repeated phrase. Toastmaster Rupesh used 3 repeated phrases. Toastmaster Neelam used 3 R's. Toastmaster Sheetal used 1 R. Toastmaster Shraddha used multiple R's and 1 For the main role players, the Toastmaster of the day used 3 R's, 1 or 1 repeated phrase and 1 pause. The general evaluator used 1 repeated phrase and 3 pauses. The table topic master used 3 R's and 2 repeated phrases and 1 pause. The president only used 3 R's. The other role players, which was the timer, was flawless. The grammarian used 3 R's and the SAA was also flawless. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Gavilier Shaisha. That was elaborate, extensive, and much required our counter report. So thank you very much for that detailed report, Gavilier Shaisha. Does anyone guess right? If I were to ask, how old do you think, how young do you think Gavilier Shaisha is? Kirti, I see you. 8. Okay. Not correct. How about not Shraddha? No.
A year older than
11. Older than you, again wrong.
11.
7, no, wrong. Dishita, you're a friend. You can't do that.
11.
She's 10 years old. She's 10 years old, and her R counter report is better than our Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you.
R counter report. So that way she is older than you. Anyway, the only reason I called out Gavilier Shaisha to give her counter is because I'm going to evaluate table topics and speak for more, and you'll catch more of my mistakes. So hence I asked you for the report. Next, let me have the timer, Toastmaster Rima Das, to share her report. Toastmaster.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Speaker, prepared speaker, Toastmaster Shilpa, 6 minutes 21 seconds. Evaluator Toastmaster Shraddha, 3 minutes 7 seconds. Table topic session, speaker number 1, Toastmaster Kirti, 1 minute 40 seconds. Speaker 2, Toastmaster Amrish, 1 minute 43 seconds. Speaker 3, Toastmaster Orithro, 2 minutes 11 seconds. Speaker 4, guest Raja, 1 minute 55 seconds. Speaker 5, guest Otri, 1 minute 21 seconds. Speaker 6, Toastmaster Rupesh, 2 minutes 26 seconds. Speaker 7, guest Neelam, 48 seconds. Speaker 8, Toastmaster Sheetal, 1 minute 46 seconds. And Speaker 9, Toastmaster Shraddha, 1 minute 10 seconds. Only guest Neelam is not qualified, rest everyone is qualified. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Rima. And especially thank you more for doing the timer's role using the conventional cards. So thank you very much. It makes me want to get back to meeting physically soon. Thank you very much. Now can I have my grammarians report? Toastmaster Abhijit, screen is yours.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator of the day. It was an excellent affair overall. So coming to my report, there were a couple of quotes and words used in the course of the meeting. So coming to the quotes, first quote was, "Life is a series of a million tiny miracles." It was an excellent one. Second one is, "Throwing aside mask of professionalism," as well. It was also an excellent quote. And coming to the good usage of grammar, it was overall a grammar marathon. There were a couple of good usage of grammar, like cynical, affiliated, cohesive, procrastinate, expound, apprehension, traumatic, hypocrisy, engrossed, cognizant. And coming to the not so good usage of sentences of grammar, there were only two such instances captured, which first one was, rather than saying "I had given," we should use "I gave." Second one is, "My son has only just passed." We should edit it like we can use "My son just passed." And coming to word of the day, there were good amount of speakers who used it. Toastmaster Krish used it twice. Toastmaster Kirti used it once. Guest Atri used it once. Toastmaster of the day Sitij used it once, and Toastmaster Shraddha used it once. This is my overall report. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Abhijit. Again, wonderful report. So these tag roles actually help you to be more attentive and be a better listener. So thank you, all three of you. Next, I would like to evaluate the table topic speakers. Toastmaster Kirti. I am always confused between. So you added humor to your perspective, and that always has me giving more points. So well done. I loved how you had an opening and conclusion in your impromptu speech, and you can only get better the more times you do this. So please keep volunteering and keep doing it more often. Next, I have Toastmaster Amrish and Toastmaster Arithro. You had the respective topics. It was a proud moment for me, and I was extremely nervous, but I overcame. Now, both of you had personal stories that you tied to the topic, and that is applaudable. That is a wonderful way to approach any table topics. And I would have loved it for you to be more fluent in your thought to speech conversion. And that came out, or that you were able to see that in the R counters report with the amount of equal number of pauses that you had. So what I would suggest is try to have more opportunities in impromptu speaking. So that way, I'm sure you will do better every time you take the stage. So all the best to both of you. Future Toastmaster Raja, my random act of kindness brought such joy. I loved the brave attempt. All I can suggest is, if you are open to it, try concluding your take on the topic. Right. So in your case, it would be, you spoke about how a random the guard at your building, right? So you just summarize the whole thing and then say that random act of kindness brought such joy. So that will tie it up together. Future Toastmaster Atri, I was extremely disappointed by, right? So well done. Loved your debut on the impromptu stage. So don't worry about how well you did or how much more you could have spoken. It doesn't matter. First time, the moment you take on the stage, that itself is a big ask, and you answered that call. So well done. Same applies to future Toastmaster Neelam. I don't believe in ghosts, but this time I was scared. You started off with your take on the topic with a personal anecdote. So well done there. Try to elaborate on that. So that way you are able to speak for the allotted time. But that is something which you can always figure out as you continue your continue your path in Toastmasters eventually. But till then, every time you come onto the stage, please ensure you enjoy yourself. Toastmaster Rupesh, it was silly yet so much fun. Now the topic was made more endearing to me because of the anecdote you shared. I can easily see this attempt receive a podium finish in one of the contests. My suggestion for you would be to conclude. That would have been the icing on this impromptu speech. So well done. Toastmaster Sheetal, my frustration was at its peak. You were on point with your opening, body, and conclusion, the personal anecdotes. You had a call to action in your impromptu speech. So well done. You, Toastmaster Sheetal, were able to pack a lot of it, lot of content in the time allotted to you, and you did it really well. So well done on that front too. And finally, we had Toastmaster Shraddha. I was highly embarrassed when Toastmaster Shraddha, for someone who will be participating in the contest, tried to camouflage the silence by using forced thinking sounds. Now, when I say forced thinking sounds, it would be akin to, you start off with, when was I embarrassed last? How come I can't think of anything? Friends, I think it is because I don't take it too hard, or some, and then you carry on with whatever you have to say. So I think, that long pause which you had, it will, you'll reduce the use of that. So you could consider that. Now, moving to the Sergeant at Arms is Gavilier. Is Gavilier? He's not here. Okay, but he did really well. And he had an enthusiastic start, laid out the laws of the land, and very wonderfully done. It was a fresh perspective for us itself. Our president, distinguished Toastmaster Panare, she ticked all the boxes that I was keeping an eye on, passing the MOM, making announcements, starting with a motivational message, taking guest introductions, and handing the screen to the Toastmaster of the day with a uplifting introduction. So well done on those fronts too. Toastmaster Kshitij, your choice of the theme was complemented by the hours of preparation for the same. I realized that you have reached out to all the people you were going to introduce them based on the theme. Well done on that. And I especially applaud you for ensuring that you handed over the stage to the prepared speech at around 4:30 as per the agenda, and then you handed it back, or rather and then you gave enough time for the table topic master to finish till then, and then I took it at 5. So that gives me exactly half an hour to finish up my evaluation session. So we are superb at maintaining our time, and I'm even more happier that we have one of the most punctual Toastmasters, Toastmaster Rupesh, to witness this punctual meeting. So well done. All of us did a wonderful work together. Table topic master Ajitesh, brilliant idea to challenge the speakers to speak impromptu, and adding that fun element to the topics was able to uplift the mood and confidence of the speakers. So well done. You gave a reminder about using the word of the day. You did well to ask for volunteers. You kept pushing, kept nudging. Well done on that. And you also had a line to share after each speaker concluded. So well done on all those fronts. To tie it all together, before I hand it back to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Kshitij, I want to thank everyone in my team and the well-behaved audience for keeping yourselves on mute when the speakers were on stage. Thank you very much. And back to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Kshitij.
Thank you very much, Krish. Can we please unmute ourselves for a big round of applause for our area director and the general evaluator? Yes. Thank you very much, Rima. So here we are. 3 sections, 3 emotions. Today we felt joy and togetherness, pride and contentment, and freedom and solitude. 3 feelings that cannot be described by a single word. One for the heart, one for the mind, and one for the soul. Hereby, I conclude my part of being the Toastmaster of the day. And now, it is the time to hand over the podium back to someone who is like a proton to me. Yeah, the chemical structure of atom. She has the power to neutralize the negativity around you, even if you're miles and miles apart. Please put your hands together for our ever smiling president, DTM Panna Rashmide.
I think she's not here.
So who will be the next presiding officer?
I think Shilpa will be.
We can ask the general evaluators. You are muted, Krish.
For me? Okay, thank you. Let's do this. Well done. So Toastmaster Panna is right now taking part in table topics contest at Elite Toastmasters Club. So that's why she had to rush off. If I can ask all those present here to please switch on your camera so we can take a nice picture to remember this moment. Yes, especially Dr. Rupesh. 5:30 pe ekdam. We are going to finish at 5:30. Right? Oritro, Kshitij. Oh, Kshitij, ye wala. Oritro, there you are. Who's going to take the screenshot? I will. Where's it? Where's my print screen? Idhar ka print screen kidhar hai?
Let Kshitij can take. Kshitij will use it.
Kshitij. Oh yeah, no, but still, I'll take. He has to. I'll take 1, 2, and 3. Who's not smiling? Dishita not smiling. 1, 2. Rufesh, you're excused. 1, 2, 3. Done. I've taken. Well done. Thank you, guys. Autri, thank you for joining. Shaisha, thank you very much. Dishita, well done. Dishita, I was hoping you would take part in the table topics also. Atri, keep joining us. And you have a fellow doctor-ish person in Toastmaster Kshitij to to share your interests with. And guest Toastmaster, future Toastmaster Neelam. This is our gang. She is future Toastmaster Neelam is, she's not new to Toastmasters. Her son has been a very active Toastmaster in Siliguri and played an important role in many clubs in Siliguri.
What is his name?
You have, come again?
Oh, name.
Name of her son? Miss Neelam, you're on mute. You're on mute, Miss Neelam. Miss Neelam, you're on mute. Siddhant Mittal. Right, and Shilpa, oh yeah, Shilpa is one of our, with this, I would like to close the meeting officially.